Welcome back to Off the Moose Tracks, the podcast where I overshare so you don't have to, and pretend I have my life together with the confidence of a raccoon holding a credit card. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jessie. And if you're not, thank you for coming back, even though last week I said I was entering my calm era and then cried in a Target parking lot over decorative pillows. Growth is not linear. Also, Target is dangerous when you're emotionally fragile. So, welcome to week 5, also known as This Week I Learned That Healing Isn't Linear, Adulthood is Fake, and apparently my body has beef with me. So, let's talk. This week I learned something really important. You can be doing really well and also deeply unwell at the exact same time. Like, I've got my life together energy, but also I just ate string cheese over the sink at 11:47 p.m. while staring into nothing vibes. But let's make it medical. Because apparently my body woke up and said, you know what? Let's add a little spice. Nothing like scary doctors' conversations to really humble you. One minute you're making plans, the next minute you're Googling words you absolutely should not be Googling and convincing yourself you have 3 business days left. Which, spoiler, Google is not a doctor. Google is a fear influencer. But yeah, it's heavy in a way that doesn't show up on Instagram. The kind where you're still going to work, still answering texts, still laughing, but also quietly thinking, okay, but what if everything's just fragile and I just don't know it yet? Can we talk about how adulthood is just vibes and calendars? Like, no one actually knows what they're doing. We're just out here Googling things like how long can you ignore a weird noise in your car? Is this friendship fading or are we just tired? And is this a symptom normal or am I about to be on a medical drama? Everyone is pretending, every single one of us. I saw someone post soft lie, slow mornings, calm energy. And I was like, ma'am, I answered 3 emails, reheated coffee twice, and emotionally spiraled in my car after a doctor's appointment. That is not soft, that is aggressive perseverance. Let me tell you something wild. I had one of those moments recently where life slows down and you're like, oh, this is serious. You know, that kind where suddenly you're grateful for stuff you normally ignore, the sky, your kids' voices, random songs, being able to breathe without thinking about it. All of it feels louder, brighter, bigger. And I genuinely had this moment of, wow, God gave me a second chance at life. And then life was like, psych, just kidding. Here's another plot twist. And I was like, sir, respectfully, I am tired. It's been one of those seasons where you're not dramatic about it. You're just quietly like, okay, but I was not emotionally prepared for this chapter. I don't feel broken. I don't feel hopeless. Just heavy. Like I'm carrying invisible bricks in my chest while still packing lunches, answering emails, showing up to meetings, and laughing at memes like everything's normal, which it is and isn't at the same time. But here's the thing about scary health stuff that nobody tells you. You don't panic outwardly, you panic internally while folding laundry. You're like, okay, but what if this is bad? While also being like, okay, but these towels need to match. Healing looks less like journaling and more like pretending you're fine at work, crying in your car after appointments, forgetting what the doctor said because your brain left your body, and laughing about it later because if you don't, you'll scream. And honestly, 10 out of 10 coping mechanism. Highly recommend dark humor and denial with a splash of hope. What made me laugh this week? Because when life gets heavy, the universe stays unserious. I did wave back at someone who was not waving at me. That memory will haunt me until death or therapy, whichever comes first. I said you too when the waiter said enjoy your meal, so now legally I must change my name. I opened the fridge, forgot why, closed it, reopened it, and stared at it again like the answer would appear. It did not. I also said let me circle back in real life. I am becoming someone I would have bullied in 2013. But here's the quiet parts, the real part. The kind I don't always post, the kind I don't always say out loud. When your health feels uncertain, it messes with your sense of control in a way that's hard to explain. You start noticing how much of life you normally assume is guaranteed: tomorrow, plans, energy, stability. And suddenly you're like, oh, none of this is promised, which is terrifying, but also weirdly clarifying because everything feels louder. Your kids' laughs feel louder, your relationships feel louder, your love feels louder, and time feels louder. And you don't want to waste any of it pretending you're fine when you're not, or holding back love when you have it, or staying quiet when something matters. So, yeah, I've been pushing through. Not in a motivational poster way, in a put on real pants, drink coffee, go anyway way. In a some days I feel strong, some days I cry in the shower, both count way. And I don't know what's coming, but I know I'm not done way. So I will say this: nothing makes you realize how much you love your life like thinking you might lose parts of it. Not in a dramatic way, in a quiet way. Like suddenly I'm grateful for boring things: traffic, laundry, noise, mess, stress. Because boring means alive. And I'm not done being alive. I'm not done laughing. I'm not done crying. I'm not done loving. I'm not done building things. I'm not done watching my kids grow. I'm not done making bad decisions at Target. And I'm not done oversharing on the internet. Absolutely not. So yeah, life feels heavy right now, but I'm still here, still laughing, still showing up, still pushing through, mostly out of spite, but also hope. So, if life feels heavy right now, if your body feels like it's betraying you, if your heart feels tired but stubborn, if you're scared but trying, if you're laughing but also not okay, welcome. You're in the right place. This is Off the Moose Tracks, where we're not pretending, we're not perfect, we're not polished, we're just alive, trying, laughing, crying, showing up anyway. So, remember this: I love you. Drink water, unclench your jaw, stop rereading that text, and if God gives you a second chance at life and then says psych, just know I'm right here with you, screaming internally, but moving forward anyway. See you next week.